I think that I've pulled back the curtain a little bit. Not the shower curtain, because I'm not that kind of channel. You're welcome. But yeah, I think I've learned this year just to be a little bit more vulnerable. And Marcus Brownlee from MKBHD said, if you really want to be a good YouTuber, you really have to enjoy shooting hoops by yourself in the park. Chapter 1, Analytics, straight into the guts. Today I've got 242 subscribers. I posted my first video 5 months ago, and I've posted 36 long-form videos and no shorts. My watch hours over the last 365 days is 372.6 hours, and views I've got 7.9Ks. Number 2, I'm enrolled in a coaching program, and I enrolled in that program about a month before I posted my first video, so let's call that 6 months ago. And I'll tell you a little bit about that program, but first of all, I'll tell you what it isn't. So it isn't a one-to-one personalized weekly contact session type of coaching program. It's more a video course. So it's about watching a lot of videos, and the creator of the course, the owner of the course, he keeps on updating the videos. So you do need to go back and watch the updated ones, obviously, because that's where the most updated information is. And you do get a coach that you can check in with and ask questions of. The main value, I would say, is in the Discord group, where there are lots of subgroups, whatever you call them, and they're all different types of groups, like, you know, you want some advice about some feedback. Yes, so I think I mainly started taking my channel seriously this year, and the reason why I say seriously this year is because, to me, if you're taking your channel seriously, you are posting as much as you can, really, whatever that means for you. So yeah, because I was researching videos quite heavily last year, I kind of it was almost like I felt like I was making an episode of a television show or something like that. You know, the amount of research, I thought, no, I really need to go deep into some Reddit and, you know, lesser known places to be looking for information that might just make the difference between what you are presenting and offering on your channel about a particular subject compared to other people's. Except it did slow me down, and I think I was producing a video like every 2 weeks or 3, something like that at the very beginning. But yeah, I've mainly just dug in this year and just, you know, really just got into it a lot more. So yeah, I think that my main growth has happened this year, and actually one particular video has taken off more than others. So number 3, if I had to describe my channel in 20 words, what would it be? Helping people over 40 grow their YouTube channels by giving tips, tutorials, updates in a seriously unserious way. Okay. Number 4, at 242 subscribers, what have some of the struggles been so far? I have got 4 of them. I know. Only 4? I'm trying to save something for later. There'll be another follow-up video, okay? Right, places to film when I feel like filming and have prepped for a video. Okay, right. The first one is places to film and filming when I feel like it. So both of those things meeting happily together. One of the first struggles, you know, that I can say. It's just not easy to get both of those things happening at the same time. Every other weekend is so I've had to be inventive and be ready when I know everyone is going out, like, for example, on a weekend. You know, it's about being disciplined and just being ready. Like, for example, a few months ago, it might have been like a good half a day thing, you know, just setting up and doing all the thing and the blah blah and the setup of the tripod and everything like that. Whereas nowadays, if I get home and there's no one there and I know that they're not going to be there because I might text them and ask them, you know, I might just try and do a quick bit of filming. I will just get in the mood, you know, like, do you remember the Seinfeld episode and Jerry was talking about him and his girlfriend getting back, and he asked Jerry, tell me about that. And Jerry said, I'm not in the mood. And George just said, well, you know, you get in the mood. So, you know, I'm getting in the mood when no one's there and I know that they're going to not be, you know, coming in the door any minute. I am getting in that mood and I am hitting record on whatever, is handy and charged up. And I am just doing the blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, having to be inventive. Also, I have gone to the library and I've recorded at the library, and also I've been recording out and about a lot more than I used to, even recording outside on my deck when people are inside. Now that really feels like I'm in a fish tank, although truthfully, nobody cares. And in fact, they are just, they're just going off and doing their own thing and not really looking out the window, but getting in that mood, just turning it on and just get your ass ready. Just press record. You know how that goes. All right. Yeah, and also filming in the car, which I never used to rate that, but now I'm a fan. So it's a discipline really, isn't it? Just like a muscle. I want to say getting up out of bed early in the weekend is a discipline. Yeah, nearly the same, like a muscle you are building. Just be prepared. Yep, you just have to be prepared to turn on that dime at a moment's notice. The next one is what to make videos about. I mean, that is just an ongoing challenge, isn't it? I don't care who you are. It's the constant, this topic is popular or trendy at the moment, but should I or shouldn't I make a video with my own spin on it? Like, that's the lingo, isn't it? Own spin. Or texture. I've been hearing texture recently. Like, that's pretty groovy, isn't it? Like, just with your own texture on it. And then it's thinking, what can I bring that would, be some fine distinctions? Do I have any fine distinctions, like, in there to bring it to this subject? So, and then it's the whole, what is my niche, or what is my pillars? And honestly, what are pillars anyway? You know what? I looked up pillars, and really, at the end of the day, pillars just means stuff you're going to talk about on your channel. So yeah, it's like, I went deep. I put it into ChatGPT, really, really deep research. Okay, learning about titles and thumbnails. Right. Okay, the next one is learning about titles and thumbnails. What is there not to learn about titles and thumbnails? I mean, the job description of a YouTuber is extraordinary, really. Okay, so I had to write a few notes on this one. So it's probably the only job that you've ever done where you really don't know what you don't know, and you really are dumb at it when you start. You've picked yourself. No one's had to pick you to do it. You've opted in, is what you've done. And while not knowing all that there is that you are going to have to know, and then one day you are just going to not be sleeping very well just when you're thinking, the editing, like which software am I doing and how do I add that music in, and like the whole Google thing is just like, stuffing me up. And in my case as well, I struggle with Premiere Pro. It's not a very stable software, and it just gets depressing when you go down the Reddit rabbit holes on trying to figure out how to solve your Premiere Pro problems, and people are just going, Adobe, what are you doing? You're robbing us. You're robbing us blind every day. The cost of the Adobe Cloud Suite, or whatever they call the whole thing. But, and it's best for everyone that people just go quite ignorantly into YouTube. So even if you think that you know what you're getting into, you don't really until you're in and, you're committed, and you might have even told some people. So you're committed with a big C if you've done that. I don't recommend doing that. Just need to leave yourself an out. So yeah, just keep it on the DL when you're starting up a new channel. And also the other thing too is, is that people feel guilty for not watching your channel, and then how do you think about them not watching? Like we're talking loved ones and stuff. So it's easier for everyone if you just don't tell people when you're starting a new channel. And no one would ever start if they had an inkling of all there is that they don't know, that is just going to F them over sideways, not in a good way, in about a month's time when they just don't have that spark in their eye anymore. You know, like when you start a new channel, you've got the little spark in your eye and you're just like, I don't know, who's our little Happy Days? Richie Cunningham from Happy Days. You're all Richie Cunningham and just Toodle Pops and just vanilla cookies dunked in milk at the milk bar. You're innocent and you've got that innocent look in your eye. It is undisputably just innocent, and you don't have all these cords and all this faffery, you know, that I've been trying to set up tonight. It is best for everyone, otherwise YouTube like it that way. You know, it's just plenty of time to learn the stuff, plenty of time. So, you know, and all while you are just trying not to look as petrified as you are, you know, when you actually just do press record. So that's just another pressure. So you're feeling you hit publish on your channel. Yes, oh my goodness, you know, I've got my ticket now. I'm just raring to go. I'm going to go at them. A month later, you know, your eyes are a little bit duller. Yeah, then the sleeplessness comes in. And then, you know, the YouTube addiction kind of creeps over you. Just all that fun stuff. And not only that, but then when you actually are recording your videos, you try not to really look as, you know, maybe a little bit down, you know, as down as you feel, because no one wants to see a sad sack all the time when they're watching your videos and you're just trying to be all upbeat and just a little bit of spring in your step and all that kind of stuff. So just the good feels, if that's your kind of channel. So yeah. And if you are just unexpectedly down on your video, like it's not like a serious topic, and if you're just looking petrified, then they really won't watch. So the whole thing is a vicious circle, really. The next one is letting myself be vulnerable, and being up for trying new things. It's a brave new world, this YouTube bizzo, and it doesn't take very long to work out as a new creator that if you don't let yourself be vulnerable as you're comfortable being, if you don't show some vulnerability, then you may not be very relatable, because everyone knows that, you know, they're a schmuck. And if you act like you are not a schmuck and you are the opposite of a schmuck and you are this special fancy person walking lightly and delicately and just magically on gold dust ballet shoes around the world, then yeah, you're not going to be very relatable, and they will just drift away from your channel if they were ever on your channel, if you're behaving all unvulnerable all the time, and they will find another creator that they can connect with, and yeah, just that creator just pulling back the curtain a little bit. Now, I've been a little bit freaked actually about some of the things that I've just gone and said, and I can relate to Audra from Audra Faith Solar. I think Audra is your channel name, and where she said that she recorded a video and she talked a bit about like work and like real people's names and stuff, and she's just like, yeah, maybe I won't post that video. And she didn't post that video. So yeah, we do have to manage that. It's an ongoing thing to manage, that vulnerability piece. This isn't the gram, is it? YouTube. If you just walk around like you are living your best ethereal life in just this perfect, filtered, you know, with Vaseline over the screen world that no one can relate to, well, then no one's going to watch your channel really, are they? So, but that's why we're here. We're here being real on YouTube as opposed to the gram. And like, you know, they might be just gliding around like swans delicately, whereas we are more like the squat little ducks. You know, keep our heads above water in the rapids. Yeah, that's it. I think I've nailed it there. Shall I just leave on a high? I am here all night. I'm here all night. So make sure to smile every now and then when you are just new on YouTube, and just be approachable. Just the same way that if you are just smiling at someone in a library or a cafe or just on the bus or anything like that, just being a good bugger. So yeah, you want to give off good bugger vibes. Yeah, that's it really. I think, It's not more complicated than that really, but But it is though, isn't it? We know that. Yeah, but yeah, we don't want to be a sad sack every single video if our subject matter isn't like serious. We want to be seriously unserious sometimes, and whatever the opposite of that is. I think it's just, yeah, I don't know. It's a bit late to be trying to flip that around. But anyway, oh my goodness. The next one, editing. What can you say really? Okay, Premiere Pro and I have had the best of times and we've had the worst of times, mainly the worst of times. It's a fight, it's like every octagon you didn't want to get into is what editing is. And you're wondering, how did I get here? No one's even making me be here, but I'm staying here. And I'm trying to fight my way through and just not get knocked out. But then I get back up again, except you don't really, do you, when you're learning how to edit. But even after you have learned how to edit, there's just so much more editing that you can do. You're wanting to layer those editing skills on top of each other. So just when you think, I'm good, I've got this, you then try and be a bit more fancy. Think, oh, maybe I can do one of those, just the zoom into the bottom left 25% of the screen, and I'll put some keyframes in. So, you kind of do it to yourself, really. Truth be known. You don't just keep it basic. I don't know. Are you a creator? Do you just keep keeping it basic, or do you try to just get even more and more fancy pants as you go along? Just because, I don't know, because you can, and because you kind of go, oh, it hasn't been really, really hard for about 3 days. So yeah, let's just go and learn something new and just get even better and have even deeper knowledge in this editing software. Do you do that? It's a bit of a trap, really. It's a slippery slope, kind of like Botox and fillers and other stuff. Do you know that I had this really quite cool comment, I thought, that said, have I considered nasolabial and something else? And I went back and I said, is that rude? That nasolabial thing? I don't know. Anyway, I think that they don't have a smutty sense of humour, and so they just kept it G-rated and just, I don't know. I still don't even know what part of the face that is, but nasal, they were a very nice person, and when I said, is that rude? They just said, well, no, I was just saying that might really do some good things, and I'm sure it would. Okay, right. So editing, it's every octagon you didn't want to find yourself in, but you are getting your as in there, ready or not. You get in there, you put your dukes up, and then very quickly you start praying. You start praying for fast videos that are going to give you the solution. Toot sweet. And you don't want out-of-date information, and they better not tell you what their name is, and they better not repeat the title again, because you saw the thumbnail, you saw the title, you don't care what their name is, you don't care what their, channel name is, and you don't care about what their, dog and cat's name is. If I'm hitting on your editing video, just get into it, bro, okay? That's really, really how I feel. So the thing with Premiere Pro is it isn't a stable platform, and there is a lot of evidence from people talking about that on the big wide web, and I just see that it's almost like it just packs us ad. It seems to kind of overheat or something like that. And also I've noticed that it just doesn't like it if you have removed some files or you've changed the names of some files or something like that. So it's kind of temperamental. Also, you do need to have some extra storage when you are downloading videos from Premiere Pro, because it then gets all fussy about not having enough space to download, your video onto your desktop or wherever it is that you want to save it. So then you've got to go buy some extra storage and blah, blah, blah. Premiere Pro and just editing in general, wouldn't you say it puts hairs on your chest? You just get a really bad hangover feeling, don't you? But without the drinking, when the editing just takes its toll on you. But it does get better. Alrighty, number 6. Number 6 is being in a coaching program and making my own decisions if I feel that something I have been doing and I've been advised to do isn't working. That feels brave because who am I? A squat little duck in the rapids versus the big gun swans out there. No, but in all reality, I have heard Alexa talking about that as well, and I was pretty impressed because I don't hear many people talk about that, and there's no disrespect to any of our coaches. I mean, I just thought it was pretty cool when she mentioned that she was advised to do something, she did that, and then she just felt that it hurt her earnings and maybe her subscribers as well. Like just it hurt her uptake on some of her products or digital products or growing her channel. So yeah, so I have done that as well. And I think mainly this year I haven't been like asking my coach direct questions about like my channel, but more I've just been asking in the group where he contributes really, really freely and he really looks after me. And just like the whole group, people that are really experienced and have just got different points of view will all jump in there. And it's pretty cool just to have a diverse range of points of view, like when you are just, setting out. But it does take dogs' balls of steel, though, to just stand there and against the wind, really. It's okay. I mean, really, those guys, that's no skin off their nose. And to me, that's just part of a good coaching relationship, isn't it? Like, make some suggestions, but ultimately, you're making all of your content. You have to stand beside and feel good, with everything that you're putting out there. Yes, like, for example, I was told that the over 40 niche is oversaturated. Oversaturated? Is that a bit moot? It's saturated. But what niche is not saturated or oversaturated or oversaturated? Like, none. So unless it is a new niche that is just blowing up now, or, some of those niches might be in pre-niche mode. But yeah, everything is saturated. And when I was told that I would need to make at least 100 videos to get any traction, I was cool with that because I'm like, yeah, that's all good. Wouldn't have expected anything less because YouTube is on easy mode, isn't it? Did you hear that? Did you know that YouTube's on easy mode? Yep. So, but yeah, so this YouTube thing, and my goodness me, it is exhausting, isn't it? When I heard Alison from Alison 50 Plus saying just the other day that she said, I really just need to get into my bathroom because it's just, it just needs a little bit of attention. She said, it's not dirty, but there's just, there's like stuff around and I just need to like undisarray it. And I thought to myself, girl, I like you. I get you, and you are like me, and yeah, my bathroom is looking slightly worse for wear. And yeah, just trying to get to all the stuff, right? Because we do not want to be excluded from the human race because we've turned into messy people. But yeah, I really liked that when I heard Alison say that. I could really relate. Okay, now we're coming back to Marcus Brownlee's quote. If you really want to be a good YouTuber, you really have to enjoy shooting hoops by yourself in the park. This is by far the best analogy that I have ever heard about starting out on YouTube because we all know the image of the lonely basketballer and there's no one else out there on the court. The court is a bit worse for wear. It's not the best court. Your gear that you've got isn't the best. You don't look like the kind of player that you're aspiring to become. You don't look like an NBA player. You don't wear the same clothes as an NBA player. You don't have the same skills as an NBA player. So the basketballer, the aspiring basketballer, full of self-doubt, full of all of the hoops that they missed, and full of all of the dribbles. Do basketballers dribble? All the times they tried to dribble the ball up, or was it down the court, and it got intercepted. I don't know what the right word is for basketball, but it got intercepted. So full of all of those negative memories and the things that they just need to improve on and stop doing, and then they need to start doing a bunch of stuff. And you're missing lots of hoops. You're throwing. You've got no one on your sideline giving you positive feedback because no one's watching. Because why would someone watch a brand new basketballer who's just missing lots of hoops? And why are they practicing by themselves like that? Potentially, someone could think that. And actually, I think that it is more, I think I wrote here, instead of just being the lone basketballer shooting hoops, it's more like you are the lone basketballer shooting hoops in the middle of winter, wearing a blindfold, wearing earplugs, and with one arm tied behind your back. Because if you saw all the comments that were made about you or your channel, or you didn't see comments that were made about you or about your channel, and you didn't hear some feedback, and you weren't seeing and hearing all the myriad advice, and you just are a little bit lost in it all, like, okay, what's true and what's not true? Is it the red pill or the other one? Yeah, and, in the winter, you are not on stable ground, and it's like that when you're a new YouTuber as well. And you don't know how to film yourself. You don't know the best, lighting setup. If you sit by a window, do you sit with your back to the window? Do you sit side onto the window? Do you put the camera at the window, like facing into the room? Do you buy a light? What kind of light? Are ring lights any good? Or do they just show up in your glasses like as the ring and that kind of stuff? And the editing, the thumbnails, the titles, the descriptions, tags, hashtags. Is my content made for kids? Is it not made for kids? Should I just tick kids because, audience is audience. Can't afford to be fussy at the beginning. Altered content. Oh, my Lord. What does altered content mean? Is altered like what I did in Canva to those pictures I stole from Google? Just quietly, like asking for a friend, just mentioning, hypothetically mentioning it on behalf of a friend. Where to download your footage, how to get your footage into the computer to start editing it, all of that. Music or no music? I like this music. Is this too loud? But I like this music, and I want to hear it. And when it's up louder, it just gives me all the good feels, like I'm just at the club, or I'm just at the at the market or the fair or the pub, where the band is playing live. So I'm just going to turn that music up in my background. And now some people are saying that they just can't hear what I'm saying. Well, it's not my fault they've got bad music taste and just can't appreciate what I'm trying to do for them, is it? God, the title, the thumbnail. And above all of this, no one's paying you. This is a job description that you are gifting to yourself. You are giving yourself another job on top of your other job and all the other jobs in your life, and you're not getting paid for it. And the performance reviews, they're not even trying to be pretty. They're just what they are. Just read the analytics, okay? And just see that your average watch time on a particular video that you really, really loved might be 25 seconds. And how does that feel? Feels a little bit lowly, actually, doesn't it? Yep. Because even I've just had a look at my most popular video, and I think I saw that my average view time was 2 minutes something, and video was 22 minutes. So I think, thank you to my 5 friends that watched the whole movie, the whole video, and 100 people who just skipped in and out equals 2 minutes something watch time. I'll take it. And you know what? All of that while you're building in public. Okay, so number 8, we're there. Number 8, what is my monetization goal date? Before we get into an exciting date, it's not an exciting date, is it? It's not exciting for you. And it's like, I don't even know if you're still here already. But nod to Audra Faith Solar for her video on what is your personal year in 2025, because it introduced me to the idea of a personal year. So I did her the little mathematical equation that she says to do to find out what your personal year is. And I am personal year number 8. 8 is apparently lots of good things. So I thought, in light of being a number 8, and trying to pick a date that was like way at the end of the year, just gives lots of time to, just make the content, do all the yada, blah, blah, blah. I am picking my monetization goal date as the 8th of December 2025, 8/12/2025. I'm hoping that will be a lucky date for me to work to. Thank you for watching this video. I will be giving updates, and yeah. All right, on to your next video. See you at the next gig.